and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. This is Market Today. I'm Sakshi Batra. With me is Shail Bhatnagar as well. As we start off a new week, let's recap what happened on Friday. And of course, we will line up cues for you to be watched out today. And of course, the key earnings that will be getting a reaction from the markets too. So equity benchmark indices, they rebounded in trade on Friday after 3 days of decline. After buying in banks, financial services and metal stocks really pulled up the stocks higher. However, the major indices underperformed the broader ones as well, and the markets have also recorded third consecutive weekly loss, marking the longest losing streak of 2024. That's despite the surge that we saw on Friday as well. As we look ahead, we'll have to see whether the momentum that was generated on Friday gets continued even today. Of course, we've had a positive handover from Wall Street, and of course, Asia markets are also looking up. It's the earnings from various companies that will be definitely key to see how the markets really move up from here on. Good morning to all our viewers and good morning, Shail.
Good morning, Sakshi, and a very warm welcome from the city of Nawabs. I'm in Lucknow, and
Wonderful.
what beautiful weather we have here. Almost all of North India is now blossoming into a wonderful place, and you should have been here. Remember, we did that lovely show with the lady from Lucknow, which is Devina
Devina
Mehra,
Mehra, yes.
and we had this discussion about the Lucknow chart versus Delhi chart. Despite being a Delhiite, let me please confess that chart at Lucknow is better, and that you must come here soon and we can do a show with Devina again, this time in Lucknow.
Wonderful.
But you're right. 3 weeks of losses on the Nifty. Friday was higher, 24,850 is where the bulls rested for the weekend. But from a low of 24 500, let's just say 24,600, 24,460 to 24,874, you had a very nice long tail that happened in the market, which essentially means that the low was at a certain point of time, and then the market pulled up dramatically and ended near the day's high. So those are signs that the bulls are back in momentum. And this week is really, really heavy as far as earnings are concerned. They will set the trend. Although today we have just Ultratech Cement from the Nifty pack. But if you look at tomorrow, which is Tuesday, you have index heavyweight Bajaj Finance, two outperformers, which is Persistent and Coforge from the mid-cap IT space. And on 23rd, it's really, really heavy as far as the process is concerned. You have Godrej Properties, you have Syngene, again Pidilite, Asian Paints, Hindustan Unilever, AU Bank, Naveen Fluorine, so on and so forth. 24th is ITC and Petronet. And of course, 25th is newly added to the Nifty BEL, JSW Steel, of course, Cholamandalam Finance. On Saturday, you have JK Cement, IDFC First Bank, and ICICI Bank. So, Sakshi, it's going to be a very, very tough week for you and me as far as workload is concerned on second quarter earnings. But for the moment, I think Bank Nifty is doing much, much better compared with the Nifty. 1.5% uptick on Bank Nifty on Friday. It reclaimed 5,200, 52,000 level. And more importantly, it ended on a very, very strong note when you see the weekly chart of the Bank Nifty. In fact, Bank Nifty was up if you look at the weekly contribution, and it added 0.5%. As you will point out a little later, you have a very strong close on Wall Street. All major indices are in the green and near record highs. So that's a strong momentum that is coming in. Quiet on US 10-year bond yield, around 4%. And of course, crude oil prices are down for the sixth day in a row. So that is really, really positive for sentiment on the Wall Street. Therefore, we'll be watching paint companies on the long side. We'll be watching oil marketing companies on the long side. And of course, Indigo. So individual stock action is really good, but possibly the best thing that medium to long term investor SIP, instead of having that one Raquis Diwali party, ladies and gentlemen, have one less and put that money into a good mutual fund. Add to your existing SIP that one extra SIP that you have. Remember, the market has corrected from 26,250 to 24 400, 400, 500. So that's a very easy 1500 point correction on the Nifty. And this is a time to look at large caps. So Sakshi, maybe one extra sip in a large cap fund will do wonders 1 year from now. But for the moment, let's hope for a nice uptick at open, and then we will see. Earnings momentum is going to be deciding the fate of the Nifty this week. Sakshi, what are the cues that are coming in from Wall Street? And I believe our foreign friends were net sellers again
Yes.
on Friday.
Yes, they were. So the Dow Jones Industrial Average and the S&P 500, they chalked up another record closing high on Friday. So that's a bit positive. And with the Nasdaq also in the positive territory, we do definitely have positive cues from the Wall Street over Friday's session, as well as markets were boosted by earnings-driven jump in Netflix shares, broader gains across tech stocks as well. They all pushed up all the three major Wall Street benchmark indices. So 0.08% of a change on the positive side for Dow Jones. On Friday, Nasdaq ended 0.6% higher, and the S&P 500 was also up by about 0.4% as well. And these benchmark indices of Wall Street have comfortably secured a 6th straight weekly gain in their longest weekly winning streak since late 2023. So the Wall Street is definitely in the thick of action. Following these positive cues, Asian markets were seen opening mixed today. Traders are assessing China's loan prime rates announcement, and they're also focusing on Japan's general election at the end of this week. So all of this will keep investors hooked on to news flows too. Nikkei managed to open with 0.3% gains. Kospi is actually better, 0.9% of a move on the upside. Hang Seng is down by 0.6%. But the SSE China is up by 0.1%, and the GIFT Nifty is indicating a positive opening for the Indian markets at 24,943 odd levels. Let's hope that sustains as well through the trading session. Now, as far as the Brent crude levels are concerned, slight dip there, 1.8% lower at $73.06 a barrel. Gold spot again continued its winning run, a percent higher to $27.21 an ounce. So continues to inch up higher at record levels. Foreign portfolio investors, they've remained net sellers of the Indian equities markets. In fact, on Friday too, we have seen the FPIs offload about 5,485 odd crore rupees worth of stocks. The domestic institutional investors, they've bought stocks worth about 5,214 odd crore rupees as well. Remember, the FPIs have already offloaded shares worth over 77,000 crores in the secondary market in October of 2024, marking their highest monthly outflow ever recorded from Indian stock markets already. So they are definitely on a selling spree as far as India is concerned. Several stocks that you should be looking at today. HDFC Bank will be the first one that we will look at after the Q2 earnings were reported. Net profit up 5% at 16,821 crores, largely in line with the estimates. NII was up by about 10% at 30,114 crores. This is versus 27,385 crores on a year-on-year basis. The asset quality was steady with slight uptick on net NPA level at 0.4% versus 0.39% on a sequential basis. The gross NPA similar basis, you can see just a marginal uptick to 1.36% versus 1.33% earlier. Tech Mahindra will be in focus. Its Q2 consolidated Q-on-Q numbers show that the revenue was up 2.4% at 13,313 crores, again in line with expectations. EBIT up 16.2% at 1280 odd crore rupees. The margins also improved 110 basis points to 13.1%. The net profit was up by 45.4% to 1257 odd crore rupees as well. Good set of numbers coming in. We have Kotak Mahindra Bank that has also reported its numbers. Net profit was up by 5% to 3344 odd crore rupees. We've seen this is slightly below the estimates NII was up 11% to 7,020 odd crore rupees. The net NPA again saw an uptick to about 0.4% versus 0.35% sequentially. The gross NPA also saw an uptick to 1.49% versus 1.39%. So the asset quality steady with upticks. One needs to keep an eye out on there. L&T Finance consolidated YOY numbers show NII was up 18%. We've also seen total income up by 15.6% here, and the net profit improved by 18.6% right here as well. The net premium income has actually been seen at 16.7% as well. Let's also look at Mangalore Refinery and Petrochemicals that also came out with its Q2 numbers. Revenue improved by 26%. EBITDA, however, saw a loss of 474 crores versus profit of 2137 crores, and the net loss also came in at 1055 odd crore rupees versus profit of 1597 crore rupees. So keep an eye out on that one. We'll also keep an eye out on Kotak Mahindra Bank for one other reason. The company has signed a pact with Standard Chartered Bank in India to acquire the personal loan book. The bank will be acquiring 4,100 crore rupees of Standard Chartered Bank's personal loan book particularly. Apart from this, JM Financial will be in focus. RBI has lifted the restrictions it imposed on the company's products unit. That can the company can now start to provide loans against shares and debentures. Godrej Properties will be in focus. The company has acquired 3 acres of land in Ahmedabad with an estimated booking value of 1,300 crores. GRSE or Garden Reach Shipbuilders will be in focus. The company has received a contract worth 491 odd crore rupees for one acoustic research ship from the Ministry of Defence. MOIL will be again in focus. The company has signed a JV with the Madhya Pradesh State Mining Corporation for exploration and mining activities in Madhya Pradesh. These are the stocks that I'm keeping an eye out on, Shail.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll also take a look at gold futures. Now, fifth day in a row, gold prices are at a record high. Over the last 1 year, this asset is up 50%. And in the same breath, please look at jewelry companies. We have very shortly the wedding season that is going to start in India, and of course, Dhanteras is next week. So all gold companies led by Titan, whether it's Senco Gold, Thangamile Jewelry, TBZ, all these gold companies, including RBZ Jewelers, should be in focus ahead of the festivities. Sakshi, 140 tons of gold has been imported ahead of the wedding season in India. And the cut in the customs duty from 15% to 6% is one of the biggest triggers why you see local prices now topping about 77,000 rupees a tola. And of course, globally as well, gold is now concentrating above $2,726 an ounce. With that, ladies and gentlemen, this is absolutely the right time to say hello to Mr. Raghvendra Singh, market expert, who joins us from the capital of finance in India, Mumbai. Namaste, Raghvendra. A very warm welcome. We start the week on a positive note as far as cues that are coming in from the weekend and stocks that you're looking at on the positive side as far as Dalal Street is concerned, and your view on either Nifty or Bank Nifty.
Very good morning, Shailji. Very good morning, Sakshi. As far as Nifty and Bank Nifty is concerned, we have seen a very strong closing on Friday. Nifty closed around 24,850, and Bank Nifty was around above 52,000. SDFC Bank and Kotak Bank has delivered a very decent numbers. So I think that can impact on the positive side in the Bank Nifty. And apart from that, both stocks are in the Nifty also. So I'm expecting some upside in the first half of the this session, today's session. And I think that momentum can catch on the higher side because Nifty and Bank Nifty both are trading on the oversold zone. So I think momentum will be on the higher side, and I think Bank Nifty can touch 53,000 level in this week.
Okay, very good morning to you, Raghavendra. Good to have you with us. see, we are inching closer to the peak of the festive season. And of course, the market did show us some promise on Friday. We are hoping that momentum continues and the festive cheer gets right in. Are you looking at any key stocks to play up now ahead of the festivities? Is it going to be unusual names that are going to be probably in the limelight rather than the festive names, or is it again going to be the gold focused names on all the consumption names that will take the center of focus this time?
Sakshi, definitely the gold and silver price are inching higher, and I think that can give a very positive impact on the gold companies like Titan, TN Guardgill, Motisan Jewelers. We have seen this in the stock price. Apart from that, all the consumer goods, consumer durable stocks like Dixon Technology, I think that stock can give a very strong momentum on the higher side. And apart from that, Voltas, I'm expecting, because this is not a season where AC and the other consumer durable consumer goods are being sold. But I think momentum can take a place. So Voltas is my stock on the I think that can touch 2000 level. Apart from that, Britannia and other products which we know for the फेस्टिवल सीजन तो ये सारे स्टॉक्स हैं जो मुझे लग रहा है कि थोड़ा अच्छा जा सकते हैं.
Okay. Let's look at the winners that have come in markets as of last week, Raghavendra. And HPCL, Hind Petro, was up 6.3%. This was the top performing stock in the F&O space. Obviously, crude oil prices are lower compared with Friday. So, what are the charts of Hind Petro telling you?
The charts are looking good, but I think the stock has already taken almost 30 rupees, upside from 400 level due to lower price, lower crude price. I think that is already there in the stock price. So I'm not expecting a very, decent upside, but definitely 2 to 3%. I'm expecting at least 10 rupees upside from this level. So 440 to 445 is the supply zone from where this stock can take a U-turn. But 440, I'm expecting today or tomorrow it can touch. One can keep a stop loss of 425 and keep the stock for 444, 445 because that is the supply zone. So I think वहां से एक बार U-turn लेना चाहिए.
Okay. Well, also wanted to ask you on HDFC Bank, Raghavendra, after the earnings, do you finally see some ray of hope emerging? Is the worst now finally behind HDFC Bank? Do you think such fundamental, macro level data points that we are getting from the earnings will finally fuel some fire in HDFC Bank?
I don't think so because one quarter, I think one quarter outcome cannot change your momentum, but definitely it will definitely give a very positive impact in the stock price. I'm not expecting the stock to touch above 1750, 1800 level, but there is the upside because already stock is down around 100 rupees from the 1780, 1790 level. And apart from that, SDB IPO they have announced, so I think that can impact a very positive in the stock price. So again, upside is there in the SDFC Bank because they have nothing to lose. Now they have everything to gain because prices are still trading in the narrow range from past few years. So upside is there for at least for 100 rupees, but not on the 1800 and above level. I'm not expecting.
Sakshi, let's discuss the breakdowns that had happened in the market. Raghavendra, first of all, Manappuram Finance, there were restrictions that came in from RBI and the counter lost 17.5% last week, 153 in futures, and a very, very strong, how should I say, development on open interest as well. What is the right time where you think this stock might sort of either consolidate or maybe even turn up? Sakshi, if you look at the delivery statistics of Manappuram Finance, they were up 13 times on Friday. So, Raghavendra, Manappuram Finance.
Manappuram Finance the stock is in oversold, but again, we are entering into the monthly expiry. I'm not expecting any upside till the time, the expiry is over. So again, there will be a selling pressure, margin trigger, or maybe some other reason. So I'm expecting stock to touch 140, 145 level. From that level, stock can take a U-turn because that is the demand zone. Again, the structure is not good, so I'm not expecting very higher upside. But definitely, it will take time, 1 or 2 months, 3 months, stock to touch again 170, 178 levels and above that. But again, the stock will be again in the focus today, and I'm expecting some margin trigger, and the stock can, further we can see some selling pressure in the stock up to 140, 145 level.
Okay, got it. Let's also get you, Raghavendra, to talk about a few more things, especially when we talk about the return of the entire banking, AMC, broking space. How are you looking at the opportunities right there? We've already had a stellar run in the recent past. Do you still see a lot of momentum can be seen? In these spaces, one can pick out the stocks even at this stage?
There is one broking stocks which are coming in with some new ideas like stock funding and some other thing. So that is the JM Financial. JM Financial again, stock has given a very decent rally in last 15 days. After 120, 125 levels, now stock is trading around 160. So again, I'm expecting that, and Sakshi, that there is a delivery volume in the stock, which is almost 60, 65%, delivery volume. So again, I'm expecting some upside in the stock, and 175, 180, 190 level is on the card. Apart from that, Religare, Motilal Oswal, these two broking stocks are really looking attractive. Both are trading around 52 weeks high, but still, these two stocks are good because see the thing is, all the broking houses are coming with some new ideas because new SEBI rule, new NSC rule. So I'm expecting some kind of कि वहां पे थोड़ा सा मोमेंटम अच्छा हो, कस्टमर का थोड़ा सा अट्रैक्शन ज्यादा होगा. So let's see. I think that can create a positive impact for all stock broking stocks. So again, JM Financial, Religare, Motilal, all these three stocks are looking good. Apart from this, banking stocks have not performed well. Apart from Axis Bank and ICICI in the from past 1.5 months. So again, I'm expecting some upside momentum after SDFC and Kotak result. All banking stocks, including PSU Bank, because SBI is still trading around 820, 810 range. So once SBI break above 825, 30 level, then again stock can give a good momentum. So all PSU banks are also looking good apart from this private banks and broking companies.
I think the best chart within the banking space belongs to Axis Bank as of Friday's close. Of course, we will have to check how
Absolutely.
HDFC Bank and Kotak perform once the markets open. But Raghavendra ji, what do you say about Axis Bank? It was the top gainer last week, up 2.2%. But on a monthly basis, it is still down 6.7%. Strong earnings, and we have a swing trade in the making.
So, Shailji, Axis Bank, already given a strong breakout above 1140, 1150 level, now trading around 1200. If stocks sustain and maintain above 1200 level today, and the closing is there above 1200, then again, I'm expecting stock, to give a very good and handsome momentum till the expiry around 1300 level. So, stock is looking good, momentum is good, volume is good, open interest is good. So, I think 1170, 1160 is the stop loss, and one can definitely buy this stock for 1300 level in this expiry.
Okay, got it. Well, apart from this, would you also comment on some of the other stocks like, from the real estate pack as well? We are actually seeing some bump up yet again. Today again, Godrej Properties has acquired a 3-acre land with estimated book value of 1300 crores. We've actually seen some of the pre-sales coming in very encouraging, and we are inching towards the festive season, real estate, and of course the hopes of rate cuts happening going forward from here. How are you looking at the real estate pack?
Sakshi, reality stocks was waiting for rate cut by RBI, but that is not happening. But I'm expecting within a 1 or 2 months, or maybe next, RBI meeting, we can expect some kind of, cut in the rate by RBI. So again, DLF, Lodha Developers, Godrej Properties, these three stocks are really looking good. And I think, these stocks can take momentum on the higher side. DLF, I'm expecting 1000 level by month end or maybe in the next month. And apart from that, Godrej Properties have acquired some 3-acre land in the Mumbai or maybe somewhere else around that region. And that is, I think that can give a good positive in the stock. So I'm expecting 34, 3500, for Godrej Properties. And Lodha Developers, again, the stock is good, momentum is good, demand is there on the chart, and there is a breakout on the chart. So again, I'm expecting 1250, 1260, 1270 levels, Lodha Developers.
Okay, got
Sakshi,
it.
because I'm in Lucknow, all the luck that is possible in the
Yes.
market is coming to the Nifty, a triple digit again. I wish I could shut the market, send you an air ticket. We can come over to Lucknow, have great chat, and enjoy the day. But such is not our lives. HDFC Bank off the block. 5 in the Nifty and the super highest weighted counter in Bank Nifty. 1765, ladies and gentlemen, a strong show by the earnings. But a bit of a disappointment coming in from Kotak Bank. The counters opened 71 points lower, 1800. I am sure this will improve for the better. We have Hindustan earnings this week. It just flattens out at about 27.17. Reliance 750. Let's look at what Infosys is doing. Wow, 30 rupees higher on Infosys, 1909. So HDFC Bank, Reliance, and Infosys, all three are showing smart gains. All those people who had bought Nifty calls on their way towards the market close on Friday will be enjoying a strong bounce. Whether it continues or not, only time will tell. But surely a very smart uptick likely to happen. TCS 22 rupees higher, 41.45. No worries. Let's just shift focus to the top gainers in the FNO space. You have
Right. So those are the key stocks. Let's also look at some of the IT stocks like TCS. How are they also pulling up in trade? Remember, IT has been in thick focus even in the last week as well. So let's see whether some of those stocks are moving up. Tech Mahindra is something that could be reacting as well. So let's look at how that one is opening up in the early trading session as well. So Infosys definitely up, but let's see whether that has flown into the other stocks within the IT pack. TCS, Tech Mahindra as well. Wipro was in thick action last week. If you all remember, these have been the key stocks that have actually been in thick action. Let's see some of these stocks right there. Pull up these stocks. Can we show some of these stocks to see the prices? Wipro, TCS, let's pull up even Tech Mahindra for instance, 24,972. We've slipped from that high that we had also seen, 0.6% higher, 551 right now for Wipro. So IT is going to be in the thick trade again in trade today. Tech Mahindra, however, is absolutely flat right now, nothing moving. I want to see JM Financial. That may have actually reacted positively to that news coming in that finally the RBI restrictions are actually done and dusted. 4% uptake on JM Financial, 165.2 kind of levels that you can actually see on this. Let's also pull up some of the other stocks where brokerage houses have come out with their reports. Let's look at Tata Consumer. Let's pull up L&T Finance. Let's pull up the City Gas Distributors as well, where City has come out with reports too. Let's see some of these stocks. Tata Consumers is 10% down in trade. Remember, this is after underperform rating has been given by Jefferies. And in fact, we have a 1050 target from Goldman Sachs as well. They believe second quarter has been seen a sharp slowdown in the India business, margin headwinds ahead. India's organic business has seen a sharp slowdown across categories. They've cut the EPS estimate by 10 to 14%. This is Goldman Sachs on Tata Consumer. That's actually leading to the sharp fall on Tata Consumer. 10% down at 983 odd levels right here. Let's also look at Z Entertainment. Remember, this is the stock that rebounded on Friday too after the earnings were reported. Let's see. CLSA is now given an upgrade on Z Entertainment with an outperform, and the target price they have raised to 170 odd levels, a percent higher for this. IndiaMart Intermesh, if you remember, this was the thick action trade in last week, especially in the F&O space. But it's now received a downgrade from Jefferies to underperform, and the target price has been slashed to 2540 odd levels. There's also a positive report right there, no impact of that one. Its inline results have continued to show promise, and 3200 kind of levels on IndiaMart Intermesh in the pre-opening trade right now. Let's also look at some of the other stocks that will be in focus. Let's also look at the cement stocks, for instance. JP Morgan has come out with a report on the entire cement space. Overweight on Ultratech, overweight on ACC. They are, however, neutral on Ambuja right now, and on Shree Cements. They're underweight on Dalmia Bharat, but they believe the cement sector is all set for consolidation. Urbanization infra projects should boost medium-term demand. Let's pull up some of these stocks to see how they are reacting. 3% down for Dalmia Bharat, but let's pull up ACC, Ambuja and Ultratech Cement. These are the stocks that we should be looking at. Prices haven't started moving on Ambuja right now, but ACC is up by about 0.7%. Let's get Raghavendra to come here and tell us how are you looking at the pre-opening trade setup? Where do you think the action will continue today?
Sakshi, if Nifty managed to close above 25,000 today, then definitely we can see monthly expiry of 25,500. Reason is IT has given a very strong run up in the recent turn. Now banking taking the charge. So SDFC Bank, Kotak, Axis, ICICI going to deliver their quarterly result in this week. So I think banking stocks can take a charge from here onwards, and FMCG and consumer durables. So all these three sectors can take up Nifty up to 25,400, 25,500. So again, I think today's closing is very important. If we manage to close over above 25,000, then definitely we can see some decent rally on the higher side.
Up 20%. And that's because of a very, very strong set of numbers that came in over the weekend. Hold your breath when I tell you the net profit. It is at 275 crores in the September quarter, second quarter. It was a year ago loss. So it's moved from loss to a profit. And look at how profit has moved sequentially. In June quarter, the profit was 77 crores. We are now at 275 crores. So it's an easy 4x growth in profit. And there is no surprise that the counter is up 20%. I think 1425 would be a record high. There's nothing much that can be done for today unless the circuit opens. And yes, 1425 would possibly be a record high. We've seen 1495, so on and so forth, but that was intraday. So it's a 20% uptick on Tejas Networks. Please also keep an eye out on Zomato. This is the top traded counter as far as the pre-open is concerned, and QIP in the making, and perhaps an opportunity of a lifetime to get into Zomato at a lower price. We will wait for the QIP results to be out, but this week will be very aggressive buying by very, very large long-term investors in Zomato. And also keep an eye out on Mazagon Dock. It was the top traded counter in terms of both profit, in terms of both upside and volume on Friday. These are the 3-4 stocks that you need to keep an eye out on. Nifty has settled 102 points higher thanks to a 2 percentage point uptick on HDFC Bank post earnings. Reliance is in the green, 15 rupees higher. Kotak is slipped a bit, 21 rupees lower, and flat on ICICI Bank. What is Axis Bank doing? Flat on Axis Bank as well. We'll wait for these prices to come in. Raghavendra ji, what else have you observed in the pre-open trade? Bank Nifty is trying to open 0.5% higher, 52,361. What have you observed?
स्टाइल जी देखिए, अगर 52,000 के ऊपर क्लोज मतलब ओपन हो रहे हैं, so again SDFC 2%, 2% on the higher side. So bank nifty can take a charge because there is a short position in the bank nifty around 52,000. There is a almost 30 lakhs, 35 lakhs open interest in 52,000 call for monthly and the weekly. So if that open above 52,000, then bank nifty can take a charge up to 5,300 level, 53,000 level. The reason is that short covering can take place, and that call writers can jump and start exiting their position. So that we have to see where we are opening, pre-opening, and after that where we are opening, in the actual market. If we manage and sustain above 52,000, then definitely there will be a problem for the short traders in the bank nifty.
Okay, let's also look at how gold and silver prices are moving. Record highs for both on MCX. You can look at gold; it's inched up higher by 450 rupees per 10 grams at 78,173 rupees. You can actually see a 0.5% uptick on that one. But silver is something that you now need to keep an eye out on, viewers. On MCX, silver has seen a jump of 2,800 rupees per kilogram. It's now trading at 97,950 rupees. We are inching closer to that 1 lakh mark on silver. If you remember, we were the first ones to do a show where we did a comparison between Sensex, gold and silver, and we were talking about which of the three will be hitting that 1 lakh mark sooner than the others, and it seems like silver is racing past now. And Raghavendra, yes, you have been discussing all this with us on our show as well. Tell us, what do you think now? You had mentioned on all three that you want to see 1 lakh.
Yes, yes, yes. Sakshi, if you remember, I was discussing with you on your show that the next 2 to 3 year is going to be for metal, whether it is gold, whether it is silver, or maybe any metal stock. So again, silver is trading around 1 lakh right now, 98,000. My target is much higher in next 3 years. Gold again, given a very strong breakout because of festive season, and there is almost 48 lakhs marriages there in coming marriage, season. So again, these two commodities are really, looking good. And again, I'm saying silver is at very cheap price. This is not the actual price. I'm expecting above 1.5 lakhs, 2 lakhs, in silver in next 3 to 4 years. Mark my word, it is going to happen because the kind of industrial demand we have seen in silver, I think that can surpass 2 lakhs level very soon.
Wonderful.
One
Yes, sir.
interesting point, Sakshi, is the correlation with the monsoon. So, urban consumers like Raghavendra and you buy gold, but rural India always adds to silver holdings when the monsoon is good. And this is what you are seeing as far as purchases of physical silver are concerned. That's an equally good hedge against inflation. But deep pocketed players like Raghavendra buy gold by the kilo, and rural folk.
Stanley, I just like to mention one thing, that I am into gold and diamond business. I have a retail outlet in
मैं तो पहले ही
northern.
बता रहा हूँ, मेरे को तो पता ही है सब.
So I am a trader. I am not a buyer or holder. I'm just trading because I have a retail outlet in northern India. We have 3-4 outlet right now. So I am a I'm a stock market trader and gold and silver diamond trader also.
So he's not going to leave anything, come what may, wherever the money can come in from, Raghavendra.
नेचुरल डायमंड ट्रेड करते हैं राघवेंद्र जी, खरीदते हैं या
natural sir, natural, not the lab wala. Lab wala हम नहीं deal करते sir, raw diamond only.
बस ठीक है, बस साक्षी आ रही है आपके पास वीकेंड पे ऐसा? Okay.
Most welcome,
Ladies
sir.
and gentlemen, another stock that you need to watch is on a record high, which is Ganesh Housing. Again, earnings 45% year-on-year growth in sales to about 237 crores in the quarter gone by. And hold your breath. Look at net profit, up 84% at 158 crores, compared with 86 crores year ago and 114 uh, crores in the first quarter. So Tejas and Ganesh Housing are two stocks that are really surging in terms of cash counters. And of course, you have HDFC Bank from the FNO space that is doing phenomenally well. 9:15, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into the thick of action. 100 points higher on Nifty, 24,965. If it does close above 25,000, then we are having a very strong short covering. Okay, 400 points higher on the Nifty IT index, 42,560. The Nifty Bank is opened 274 points higher, 52,365. And there is an equal gain that is happening on the Nifty 500. First and foremost, HDFC Bank, ladies and gentlemen, it's kick-started a very strong move. 43 rupees higher, 1725. Kotak has disappointed. 54 rupees lower, 1816. Let's look at Axis Bank and ICICI Bank to get an idea. Axis is 7 rupees higher, 1203. And of course, we have ICICI Bank 1 rupee 90 higher, 1267. Okay, let's look at the top gainers very quickly. Tejas Networks 18% higher, 1410, headed towards a record high. NetWeb Technologies, this is also an IPO whose numbers have been fantastic. Circuit up 10%, 2949. Garden Reach, post winning of an order, 4.6% higher, 1851. JM Financials running away, 5% higher. Masgao Dock, 4.2% higher. All in all, it's been a very good opening. Let's look at an advanced decline ratio in the broader markets. 1550 shares in the green, 563 in the red. So the advanced decline favors bulls in the ratio of 3:1. Sakshi and I track 19 indices for you. All 19 of them are in the green. Lovely. I think I should stay in Lucknow for a longer while. Nifty Realty, 1% higher, 1057. The FinServ index is 1% higher, 24,170. And of course, you have a strong show coming in metals. PSU banking index is 0.5% higher. The mid cap 100 index is 1/3% higher. Small cap index is in the green. The advanced decline ratio on NSE 500 is a good 370 shares in the green versus 127. Very quickly, coming to you, Raghavendra, what would you do on HDFC Bank?
HDFC Bank trading above 1700, which is good. All call writers at 1700 is stuck now. So I think 1729, 1730 level is trading. So we can definitely buy with the stop loss of 1715, 1715 for the target of 1750. Definitely one can buy this stock right now.
Okay, let's also look at the life insurance and general insurance companies. All of them are showing an uptake. LIC, ICICI Pru, SBI Life, HDFC Life, even ICICI Lombard General, they are all up and about. LIC is leading with 1% gains. This is also with a buzz about the GOM on Saturday for GST deciding to exempt health insurance premiums up to a certain limit and life insurance premiums as well. So this could definitely further the appeal for these insurance companies as well going forward from here. They have been in the thick of action. Anything within this basket that Raghavendra you like?
ICICI Lombard and SDFC Life. These two stocks are looking good. SDFC Life, I'm expecting 850, 890 level in next 2 to 3 months because JFM is coming, Jan, Feb, March. That is their peak season, I think. And ICICI Lombard again trading above 2000. So 2300, 2400 by December or maybe by January, we can expect in this stock.
Okay,
Okay.
got it.
Yeah, Sakshi, I think we need to mark a couple of jewelry stocks.
Yeah.
Uh, I have RBZ Jewelers 5% higher. I'm looking at PN Gadgil. If the show producer can please show that stock. This is, of course, a recently listed company, and the youngest entrant in the billionaire list is the young owner of PN Gadgil. Please keep this counter in your record. Let's look at Senco Gold. This is something also that's doing pretty well. And this is the gold theme, ladies and gentlemen, that is running phenomenally well in the market. At this point in time, let's look at new highs that are there in the market. Suven Pharma, 4% higher, 1290. Anand Rathi Wealth, 1.5% higher, 4315. National Aluminium, and yes, Raghavendra mentioned Dixon Technologies. This is something to be looked at. Very high ticket size, 15,500 for you, about a percent higher. HCL Tech
Uh,
and MPS. Yeah, Sakshi.
Okay, got it. Let's also get you. We will be discussing with you some of these jewelry stocks right there, Raghavendra. I believe in the previous show you highlighted PN Gargil as one of your preferences within the gems and the jewelry space stocks. Would you continue to believe in this youngest player, or how is it stacked with marquee players like Titan, TBZ Jewelry, which has been an outperformer this year? Do tell us, how are you looking at opportunities here?
Sakshi, PN Gadgil, that company is 100-year-old company, and I know that, and the stock is trading around 750. See, the company have a potential to touch, a very high mark, and I think 6% is their, annual growth. They are targeting to double-digit growth, next quarter. So again, the company is good, and the basic criteria I think which I have realized that makes them different from others is their design and their quality of the products. They are basically settled down in Maharashtra right now because they have not opened their store in rest of the Maharashtra. So again, I'm expecting company to go, global apart from Maharashtra, like in Delhi, North India, South India. So again, there is a potential the stock can touch around 1200 level. So again, my holding is, I'm very much positive in this stock, and I think that the stock is going to touch above 1200 level in next 6 to 8 months. So again, I'm holding this stock, and I'll definitely recommend this stock to buy and hold for all my viewers and investors.
RBL Bank, 9% lower, 190, 188.45. The bad news just doesn't stop. Second quarter provisions have almost, gone up by about 60% to 620 crore rupees versus 370 crores quarter on quarter. That's terrible. Second quarter gross non-performing assets are up 2.88% versus 2.69% quarter on quarter. This is getting to be terrible as far as this bank is concerned. A very, very sharp breakdown happening. I want to look at what Mannapuram is doing. I want to look at what Bajaj Auto is doing. Remember, both these counters had lost ground on Friday, and that was a breakdown. Bajaj Auto in the green, 10,082. And let's look at Mannapuram Finance. Where is the count? Must be on a losing ground. Okay, no, I don't see Mannapuram in front of me. We'll keep that in mind. But across the board, there seems to be a bit of profit booking early on. This is, like I mentioned, all those smart traders who had taken call options are now booking profit. I believe Mr. Amit Gupta, Senior Vice President and Fund Manager at ICICI Securities, will be joining us shortly. Manappuram Finance is down 2.5%. Our PCR informs us. Sakshi, what are you looking at?
Well, Shall, let's also look at some of these PSU banks also that are doing well. Some of them have reported earnings, and we can see about a 2 to 4% uptake. So, UCO Bank is 4.5% higher right after earnings. PSB Bank is also up by nearly 2%. That's after the earnings too. Some of them are gaining momentum. Union Bank, Bank of Baroda, PNB, Indian Bank, Bank of India, they're all in thick action right now. Let's understand from Raghavendra, does it give you any confidence to look at these banks at this stage in time, or do you think the recovery will come in only after some more time and some more consolidation is yet to play out here?
Sakshi, normally PSU Bank, give higher return in October, November, December. I think these 3 months are for PSU Bank. So I think, finger crossed. I think that can happen this time also. We have seen this, momentum in last 10 years. Now again, I'm expecting PSU Bank to trade on higher side. So SBI, UCO Bank, Bank of Maharashtra. I think all PSU banks I'm expecting on the higher side because NPA is coming down and the momentum is good for all these stocks. The stocks have already corrected 20-30% in recent time. So as a price wise, I'm expecting this is a very decent price where we can definitely invest and one can definitely hold these stocks till the budget February. So I think it is a time to accumulate these stocks.
Sakshi, I think there's a blowout that's happening on both Garden Reach and Mazgaon. Remember, the time correction seems to be over on both counters. Garden Reach, of course, has a fresh order inflow of 410 crore rupees from the Ministry of Defense. Another observer ship has been ordered to them. So 5-6% higher on Garden Reach. Very strong volume already. 7,27,000 shares traded. Mazgaon, about 12,25,000 shares have been traded. And of course, as both Raghavendra and Sakshi are mentioning, it's a day that belongs to PSU banks as well. Let's look at the index, which has been beaten black and blue, showing signs of strength, 0.7% higher, 6716. 12 PSU banks are in the index, 10 of them are in the green, led by UCO Bank, 4% higher. You have Punjab and Sindh Bank, 1.8% higher. Union Bank, 1.3% higher. Bank of Baroda, 0.7% higher. JNK in the green, a percent uptick. And of course, Indian Bank, 521.75, up 0.63%. Sakshi, what are you watching?
Shell, auto ancillaries is what I will go back to. This is one space that I've been hinting at since last week, especially stocks like precision camshafts. There is no let up. Another 6.5% higher in trade yet again today on this stock. If we look at the last 1 week chart of precision camshafts, we can actually look at about a 30% nearly kind of a move. Let's pull up the 1 week chart. Yes, 28.8%, 328, 329 odd levels for this stock. Of course, there are others also that are moving up. So, a Shivam Auto Tech or a JBM Auto, Setco Automotive, Rani Brakes, they are all moving up, and several of these stocks have actually come up in the recent past. Let's ask Raghavendra, within the auto ancillary pack, how would you really assess the momentum? The OEMs have been facing slowdown, muted demand. They have been reeling under some pressures too, discounting pressures, inventory built up. But auto ancillaries, is there any promise here?
Actually, I don't think so because we have seen auto sales numbers are coming down and most of the big players like Bajaj Auto, Tata Motor have disappointed in their quarterly result. So there is no much scope for auto ancillaries also. But again, some Mardana Motherson is stock where I can see some kind of upside. Apart from that, JBM Auto is also looking good at this level. So we can definitely see these two stocks, but I don't think any much higher level in you know uh, auto sector, overall the auto sector is not looking good and promising for this. And as far as festival is concerned, after the festival season, definitely we can see what kind of sales numbers they have delivered. Then after we can trade in these stocks. Otherwise, I'm definitely avoiding.
Fair point. 9:29, ladies and gentlemen. The first 15 minutes of trade should be upon us. The first 15 minutes have seen the Nifty slip from an intraday high. But what is good is that it is still in the green. This is, like I have mentioned, the profit booking of all call longs that were taken up. So far, we have slipped about 100 points from an intraday high. And it would be very interesting for you to note that on the 15-minute chart, the most important resistance that came in was from the 200-minute line, which stopped the Nifty just at 24,981. This is as good a time as any to check the pullers and draggers on the Nifty. 54 points in the green have been contributed by HDFC Bank. Reliance is contributing 14 points. Axis Bank is contributing 8 points. L&T and Tech Mahindra 7 points each. What is pulling the Nifty lower is disappointment on Kotak Bank. The counter itself is down 3.4%, contributing a negative 20. Bharti Airtel a negative 17. Tata Consumer a negative 10. Infosys and M&M also showing signs of profit booking. So that's how the structure is at the moment. Raghavendra, anything that catches your fancy? What is the bottom that you see at Kotak Bank? 3.3% lower, 1808.
I think, sir, there's a strong support at 1775. If that level break and close, then definitely there will be more disappointment from the Kotak side. But I think 1800, 1790, that can take a support and then stock can take a U-turn. But again, auto sector is not looking promising. Check out the M&M and, Hero Moto stock chart. I think there is a big breakdown in these two stocks. Again, Mahindra and Mahindra, I'm expecting 2830, 2860 level. Hero Moto can drag down up to 50, 5,000 level below that, 49 and 5,000 level. So again, these stocks are not looking promising. So I am selling these stocks at current level with the stop loss of 2 to 3%. So definitely one can look for short side because this entire sector, auto sector and auto ancillaries are not looking good.
Okay. Raghavendra, would you have a view on IndiaMart Intermesh? What should one do? Earnings have been muted and therefore we have seen brokerage houses downgrading this stock. The stock has reacted negatively. It's now down 15%. So first it was down 10%. Now it's seen the other circuit down as well, 15% lower at 2561. How should one really view this?
They see, Sakshi, we have seen a disappointment, in the quarterly result, and that has given a brokerage to, drag down this stock up to 2,500 level. Again, we can see some kind of 10 to 15% more downside, but that can be a level where this stock can be bought because the overall management is good, company is good. So 2,500, 2,400 is the level from where one can definitely look for some kind of buying because, that can take a strong support. That is the demand zone, 2,400, 2,500 level. That is the demand zone. So one can buy. But again, currently I will definitely, avoid this stock. Don't buy right now. Wait for, price to settle down. Then you can enter.
Right. I'll just read out the earnings once again and also tell you what Jefferies has marked in their report on IndiaMart after the earnings. Jefferies has downgraded the stock to underperform, cut the target price to 25.40, which is slightly lower than after the 15% downtick that we've already seen. 25.61 is where the stock is at right now. They believe even though the company delivered inline results, however, continued softness in subscriber additions have led to collections growth moderating to 5% year on year, and this is being seen as a key negative from second quarter. They've also cut the estimates now by 4 to 12% going forward from here. Therefore, you see this downtick on IndiaMart Intermesh share.
Nifty in the red, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a development that is good, and this is despite Reliance, HDFC Bank, and Axis Bank in the green. Let's look at the advanced decline ratio. I'm rather surprised with this very, very negative view on the Nifty in the first 15-20 minutes. Okay, Tata Consumer is the top loser, 7% lower. Kotak Bank is earnings led, 4% lower. BPCL has a 2 percentage point downtick. Bharti Airtel IndusInd Bank, 1.5% lower. And it seems to be sort of accelerating, and that is not looking good. How about FNO? Let's look at the top losers in FNO at the moment, and maybe they are executing selling pressure. Sakshi's discussed India marked. I've marked RBL Bank, now 12% lower. Mannapuram, no signs of strength at all. In fact, it's down 4%, 146. You have Idea Cellular, 1.4% lower. Polycab and Ramco Cement also 1.5% down. Maybe this is a time to look at volume buzzers on the negative side. Okay. Uh, RBL and IndiaMart are showing very, very heavy volume in terms of the 5-day average, 3 percentage point, 3 times more as far as RBL Bank is concerned. Tata Consumer has 133% 5-day average traded. Dalmia Bharat has 100% 5-day average traded. And it's getting worse and worse. Maybe 24,800 will be tested on the Nifty, now 50 points lower. Nifty Bank still in the green, but way off its intraday high, 52,149. Raghavendra ji, what are you observing in the markets?
Strategy, definitely we can see sell on rise market because 25,000 has not broken on the high side. So most of the traders are waiting that 25,000 level break हो और वहाँ बेचें. अभी फिर से इन्होंने सेलिंग करना स्टार्ट किया. So again, I am expecting some more downside. 24,800 is the strong support, a strong demand zone. So I'm not expecting to close below 24,800. If we manage to close below 24,800, then again there will be a problem for all long traders. So they can again, if we close below 24,800, then definitely we can touch 24,600, 24,670 on the lower side. But anything above 25,000, then definitely it can be a we can say Sanjeevani or the monk trader. So again, I'm expecting कि थोड़ी बहुत संजीवनी सबको मिल जाए और 25,000 के ऊपर हम लोग ट्रेड करें. So let's see.
Absolutely. Well, we thank you, Raghavendra, for sparing such wonderful 45 minutes with us on this special show to share with us all the market insight. We are dwindling lower, but let's see whether the bright side also comes in as fast. Thank you so much. Always appreciate your time with us. We are now welcoming viewers, another guest on the show. We have Mr. Amit Gupta, Senior Vice President and Fund Manager at ICICI Securities, now joining in. Warm welcome to you, Mr. Gupta. Good morning, and thank you so much for taking the time out. Do tell us, how are you really looking at the current market setup? Why do you think there is a continued lack of strength? Does it, and also a lack of belief that FIIs have on the Indian equity markets right now? Where do you see the markets headed?
So I think starting from the FII's perspective, so yes, they have sold actually in the recent period, maybe China's outperformance, one of the reason of that. But along with this, if you look at from June onwards, because this is a pattern we are seeing post-pandemic, every year market falls. It's not like that market is not falling. Intermediate declines are coming. And somehow the 5-year average valuation of the market has acted actually as a good area where the FIIs have invested. So they are not investing when the markets are elevated, but they are definitely investing actually when the market sees a correction. So this time post-election, we saw that in the month of June, when market corrected to 21,000, which was the 5-year average valuation, and we saw the FI money coming in. So you are 4,000 points higher broadly from those levels. And I think there may be some consolidation possible here. But eventually, if the crude oil remains in control, if the dollar index remains, subdued, these two parameters are very good scenarios for the emerging markets, where India has a very decent weight now. If you look at MSCI emerging market bucket, in the last 3 years, we have increased our weight from 9% to 19%, which is very significant. So any passive flows through that route will definitely, positively impact India.
Namaste, Amit ji, and a very warm welcome to you on Business Today Television. In terms of the way forward, we have about 40,000 to 50,000 crore rupees of fresh money coming into equity markets each month, whether it is via SIPs plus EPFO plus Ultra HNIs. What is your research team now advising HNI clients of ICICI Securities to do? Maybe one or two stocks that you can highlight, which the team has come up with?
So I think a very good question. And the point is, if you look at post-election, we have seen the color of the market has got changed. The sectors which were performing before, they have moved into time correction. If you look at industrials, infrastructure, or energy transition kind of themes, or even the capex, we have seen that some of them have moved into time correction. Now, there is a reason because they have performed also before, and afterwards, we saw the coalition government coming in, we saw state elections coming in where some more freebies being given. And that is where the market, some sectors which were not performing, and like consumer, like agri related, maybe textiles, sugar allied industries. So they have started coming up now. And that is what we are also doing in our portfolios. We have shifted some money into those sectors. And I think in this consolidation, you will find those stocks also coming up now. So, for example, you take the case of Praj Industries. So, Praj Industries has been a beneficiary of compressed biogas, has been a beneficiary of second generation ethanol, where the feedstock is corn, grains. They have developed technology in it along with the first generation ethanol. We are seeing this company is getting orders from North America also. It's a small to mid cap, but they have started getting orders from North America for compressed biogas. Even the government is giving good subsidy on compressed biogas. We have seen they are getting orders in blue hydrogen. So blue hydrogen where carbon dioxide does come out, but you store it separately. And these are, the parameters which we feel the company is aligned where the government is also focusing upon. So such kind of companies can participate. And you have seen that recently government has moved to Niti Aayog, where they requested to extend 20% blending to 25% blending also. It's a big positive which can, benefit these kind of companies going forward. I think along with this, from the agri related, I think we need to focus. In agri related, you find some fertilizer companies also. You find, Maruti kind of stock. Where so Hyundai IPO has already come out. I understand there was not such a big positive actually coming out of it. Somehow it was filled. But Maruti is at a good level, around 12,000. I think not much downside is there in this heavyweight. And auto index has participated by 55% in the last 1 year, but Maruti hardly 10%. You have seen the returns. I think the negativity is getting bottomed out. This is very important phenomena because previously we were saying that small cars are not being sold and the SUVs have got almost 60% market share in the passenger vehicles. But now if you see when the money is being given into the rural area, inflation, it can eventually come in control because of the good rainfall and good kharif crop. I think eventually you will see some negativity will get bottomed out here. In the hybrid cars, Mr. Bhargav, he was continuously saying that we should reduce the taxes, right? Because in EVs, the taxes are lower, but in hybrid, the taxes are at the upper band. So the after Uttar Pradesh, Karnataka also is looking at actually reducing the taxes on the hybrid cars. CNG, this company is gaining market share by almost 1% every year. So I think there are positives coming out, which market will also realize and the valuations are better. So we have to look at such kind of things now, considering the valuation, considering the tailwind, considering that a lot of negativity was there before and that is getting settled out now.
Mr. Gupta, you took the name of Hyundai IPO. I wanted to understand from you as a fund manager, are you looking at the IPO space and some of the new companies that are hitting the D street? Has anything come on your interesting radar today? Again, Body Energies opens up for subscription, another one that is being anticipated by investors to be an outperformer in the renewable energy space. Is this on your radar, or any other new IPOs, probably Swiggy, that we will be looking at by Diwali? Are you looking at some of these as opportunities?
So these are interesting opportunities, but as a policy, we don't invest in the IPOs. We remain invested in the secondary market only. And after the listing, after a certain history, looking at the balance sheets, then we start, putting money in the secondary markets. So this is what I think. These are interesting themes. Renewable energy. We feel that I still remember the time of 2007 when the carbon credit actually was getting traded. Anything, any suffix, you put the suffix of sugar with any company that time, it used to participate. The same thing is happening now. You put a suffix of renewable actually, and you will see the companies start participating. Almost double the premium is happening in the gray market. So I think the response is good, and this is how the markets are right now.
Ji. Amit ji, you've been a very long time watcher of the markets and now a veteran on the large street. I want to understand, how are you evaluating private sector banks? Your parent of ICICI Securities is, of course, one of them. Why do you think our markets and equity strategies such as yours ignoring these juicy valuations at Axis Bank, Kotak most certainly, even HDFC Bank to some extent? These companies are coming up with 25,000 crore annual net profit, 40,000 crore annual net profit, and yet PE are anywhere between 16 to 18 versus Nifty PE of 24.
Yeah, right. So this is where markets are interesting, because even technology or even banking, so they both of these sectors, they have almost 50% of the Nifty weight, and they are not very richly valued. They are very, in fact, banks are attractively valued because they have not participated in the last 1.5 years. And I think one of the major reason was that the interest rate scenario where it was expected to start coming down eventually, it has already happened, because in a declining interest rate scenario, you know that you cut down the lending rates first before looking at deposit rates. And this is a scenario where banks are, dying hard to get the money from on the deposits, which is moving into capital markets. So in that case, it can compress your NIMs further. And that was a pressure the banks had actually in the last 1 year. Now, when the event is over, of 50 bips rate cuts you have already seen, and the markets are always forward looking, I don't see this will keep on eating the banks actually continuously now, and you will start seeing the negativity bottoming out here also. And I think one more thing which eventually will go in favor, that previously they had higher LDR, loan to deposit ratio, and the RBI somehow came to a mean of 80%. PSU banks had a good favor actually, because 66% they had LDR, and there was a room to increase it, further. So private banks have reduced. So some HDFC Bank was selling the loan book in the last 1 or 2 quarters. And I think once they have reduced, the market also is started looking at those propositions now. So I think the consolidation period looks like slowly getting over in the banking side, and that will definitely provide support eventually on the market corrections now.
Okay. Ms. Gupta, how is your overall outlook on the entire IT space as well? We have seen some of the large cap companies come out with the earnings right there. Of course, it's a lackluster or, sans any kind of a positive surprise kind of an earnings thus far. But we're also looking at some of the headwinds like US elections, so to speak, some more interest rate cuts that could be in the offing going forward from here, slowdown concerns that still are an overhang. How should one view the entire IT space? Do you think the time to buy the stocks has passed, or should one continue to look at this as an opportunity to accumulate?
So I think so we are buying IT in our portfolios because I think the initial impact was because of AI. So nobody was aware that how artificial intelligence is going to impact these companies. But we have seen it in the history also that whenever new technology comes, our companies actually they learn the technology fast, and because then they provide cheap softwares, and that is where actually the outside companies they start outsourcing more. So in artificial intelligence also, eventually you will start seeing it. The companies are already working on generative AIs. Wisdom Next came out from TCS, Infosys, SCL Tech. Along with this, the companies are also working on the softwares in the cars. That's another trend which is picking up very fast, because previously we used to have only 8% softwares in the cars, but now it has increased to 26%, right? We want new technologies inside the car now, and going forward it can increase to 58%. So the companies in ER&D, companies which have already moved into AI, they are going to be benefited. Along with this, I think the macro scenario is the IT was subdued because there was a fear of recession in
Hmm.
US, and interest rates are cutting down, which is positive. Now, if you see the 10-year bond yield in US and 2-year bond yield, the difference of it was negative from June 2022, which was signaling towards the recession because it was an inverted yield curve. After 2 years, in June 2024, this yield curve has started getting steepening out. So that means it is also signaling that recession is not there. Growth will eventually come, and which is a very positive actually now from the order perspective to the IT companies when interest rates also are also getting cut down.
Hmm. That's a very nice explanation as to what IT can do from here on. And we've seen how superb money is made into stocks like KPIT Technologies, where Amit ji says it's the software that is creeping into the auto space. So while we have personal computers and laptops and mobile phones getting slimmer and smaller, but over time, the biggest computer, ladies and gentlemen, will be the one on four wheels and will be available driving on the road. Amit ji, how do you see pharma? This has we've been talking about it for the last 4 months and has given great returns to investors, small, mid, large. You know, Mojo is back. Look at Dr. Reddy's. Look at how Cipla and Sun Pharma are doing. Very quiet overachievers and have created immense value for their shareholders. Newly listed companies like Mankind Pharma are doing very well. What is the sweet spot in pharma according to ICICI Securities?
So we feel pharma has already performed. It's not that it's not a case like IT. For the last 2 years, pharma companies have been performing, and post-COVID, there is a number which keeps on coming out from US. That is the shortage of drugs in US. Previously, I still remember in the later half of 2023, this number used to be almost 300. Now it is reaching closer to 350. So the shortage of drugs has increased. It was more in injectables. So we saw Aurobindo Pharma kind of companies getting benefited. They are still part of our portfolio. And it is one of the cheapest company available in the market right now. If you look at from financial year 26 perspective, it is around 18 times. And it is also coming out in penicillin G and biosimilars. Now, whatever India used to import penicillin G, it all comes from China. Now, 15,000 ton of penicillin G we used to import from China. This company is going to commission this much of penicillin G. Along with this, the biosimilar is the next thing, because so far we develop the medicines through chemical reactions. And going forward, you will start seeing from animal or, from human. So those kind of things are working even from the algae, from the plants. So these things are getting worked out in biosimilar, and it's a next developing phase where this company is also trying to come out. And I think these are good legs actually, considering the valuation of the company. And that's why I think beyond this, if you have to see, then CDMO will come into picture, because biosecure kind of acts are already getting passed out in US, but it will take time because they are allowing the companies to take the software, to take the pharma goods from the Chinese companies till 2030. Beyond that, only the pharma actually will start getting coming or increasing from India. So it's a long time, but markets look forward. So sometimes you will start seeing the pullbacks in the CDMO segment also, like the Lab, etc.
Okay. Mr. Gupta, as a fund manager, how are you looking at the soaring prices of precious metals, gold and silver? Are you getting tempted to allocate some of the funds in this space as well, or are you looking to play this rally via the gems and jewelry stocks, maybe the gold financiers in the Indian market? Anything that you are tempted to really look at in this space?
So we do have multi-asset. So where we have invested in the gold also, and gold has performed. I think there is some more lag possible in the gold going forward, but majority of the move, if you look at in the near term, I think it is achieving now. The geopolitical tensions also slowly, are coming down because whatever reactions market was expecting that is not coming. Crude oil prices are indicating it. They are again back to $74 per barrel. And our sense is the proxy war which Iran was fighting. So they have attacked on Hezbollah, and I think it can continue for some time, but eventually the intensity is something which matters a lot. If that is not happening, then I think the gold also will find more consolidation, and eventually you will see that the other metals which have become laggard in this scenario, they can see the catch up. So steel
Hmm.
prices have remained laggard, right? Aluminum prices can pick up because eventually China is also providing stimulus, and that is where those metal prices we feel possibly are getting bottomed out now.
24,700 was briefly tested on the Nifty, ladies and gentlemen, just 3 or 4 minutes ago. Let's hope that the worst is behind us, and from here you'll see a nice uptick on the Nifty. But as Amit ji is pointing out, perhaps there is a longer term consolidation happening here. Be that as it may, Amit, what is your view on Zomato's QIP? This is one of those rare cases of tactical brilliance by an organization whose rival is about to get listed. And they are doing all they can to suck out whatever funds are meant for this kind of a sector. What is your view on Zomato at about 250, 240, or 230? Where is a good entry level for this one?
See, I think had this QIP come a couple of years before, then definitely we wouldn't have given this kind of weightage to it. But now we have seen that how the company is utilizing cash, right? So they have come out with really good prospects. Actually, the way Blinkit has gained market share in a very short span of time. I think, and they are looking quite forward actually in other areas also. So the game plan now is very clear, and that's why they will get a good response for QIP. This is what I feel, despite 8,000 crore plus kind of QIP. Swiggy is at almost half of the discount. I mean, is 50% discount to Zomato. So we feel that Zomato will remain the leader in this space. So it will command premium. And yes, it's a matter of time now because it has also run up in anticipation. But overall, the fundamentals look better. The kind of announcements are coming from the management. They look very aggressive, and they are looking to put the feet on the right direction. And I think this is where eventually on declines you will find more buyers here in Zomato.
Okay, Mr. Gupta, just to get the last few words from you then, 143 points lower on the Nifty already. We're again inching back closer to 24,700. There's a clear lack of strength that we are continuously witnessing in the markets all of October. Do you think the top for this year is already done and dusted? What is your own expectation on the Nifty by the end of this calendar year and by the end of the fiscal year as well?
No, I think we should not think like this because this is a trending market, right? This is definitely a bull run, and it will continue for coming years. And I think rather than saying the top of the market, we should always look at when the market is getting bottomed out. That is the way we can make money in this market, I think. And so whenever the corrections of 2,000, 3,000 points are coming, I think one should start looking at investment. Continuously it is happening, and I don't see any reason why it will not happen, particularly in this year when the FI investment has been much higher in size. relatively if you see from the previous years. That's all.
Okay.
Amitji, my final question to you, and this is regarding the cement space. Somehow, bulls have eluded cement, or cement has not been on the buying list of many research houses such as yours. Many fund houses are staying away. Is it just got to do with the fact that there are two players who are just trying to gobble up everything between them? What could be the reason behind cement not rallying at a time when there is an infrastructure boom and, of course, two major players trying to increase their footing?
Yeah, I think it's a very aggressive capacity expansion which is happening. Another, 150 million ton is coming now in the coming years, and the prices are not getting sustainable actually at a higher level. We have seen number of times the companies have increased cement prices, but they have rolled back again. And that is the reason the EBITDA per ton is not getting sustainable. It, for the industry itself, it has come down. Our sense is when such a high capex is happening in any industry, it is always better to look at the vendor companies because ultimately they are the beneficiary of the capex. The OEMs may not get that kind of price and they will be more in a competitive, but ultimately the goods are to be manufactured, right? So the cement thing is also there. So I think one can look at vendor companies which are there in high chrome grinding mills because every cement company needs that. So more capex means more demand for vendors. That is the clear trend, I think, going forward will remain.
Okay, well, on that note, thank you so much, Mr. Gupta, for sparing your time for us and sharing such wonderful insights for all our viewers of Market Today on Business Today Television. We hope we see you more often on the channel now. Thank you so much and appreciate your time. And time to wrap up the morning edition of Market Today now, viewers. 115 points lower on the Nifty, it's 24,745. The Nifty Bank is just hovering around the flat line. It's nearly given up 1% kind of gains right from the morning trade, 52,150, although still remains right there. The Nifty is down by 0.4%. Sectorally, the action remains concentrated on the positive side on banks, financial services space and the IT space. Rest of the sectors have all slipped. It's the FMCG index that's down by 1.5%, the top sectoral loser right now. You have the auto, the media stocks, oil and gas also lower in trade. Both the broader markets, mid and small caps have slipped. PSE index, that's the public sector enterprises index, has also slipped about over 1% as well. So that is where the pressure is getting exerted. Top movers on the Nifty, what is stemming the fall is definitely HDFC Bank, 3% higher. And at 1734, it's bucking the trend. Tech Mahindra post earnings 2.8% higher, Wipro up by 1.6%, Asian Paints, HDFC Life and Axis Bank are the top winners as far as the Nifty is concerned. On the downside, you have Tata Consumer Product that's disappointed after the earnings, 8.5% lower. Kotak Mahindra Bank, BPCL, Bharti Airtel, IndusInd Bank and Hero Moto are the other top losers. We'll wrap it up at that, but do stay tuned. We'll be tracking markets and chatting with market masters all through the day, so stay tuned. You see a bottom near in the current fall in the markets, or and where do you